Hello garden friends, and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. I am Debbie, inspiring you to bloom, grow, and conserve in your garden. Well, it's a little over a week until spring, and I am getting super busy planting my seeds and also transplanting. In today's video, I will be planting my tomatoes, peppers, and my squash. And make sure you stay till the end where I share a helpful garden tip about planting potatoes. So I have a tendency of buying way too many seeds. As you know, I have a seed addiction, but I've been growing way too many tomatoes and I can't even give them away. So I'm going to try to dial back on that, and also I will be bringing those to my summer farmers market where I'll be selling those as well. So I'm going to be growing determinate and semi-determinate in my garden, and the raised beds and in-ground raised beds, I will be growing my indeterminate. I am gardening in Zone 5B, and my last annual frost date is April 25th, which is about 6 weeks away. So I'm going to be growing in 4 areas. And at my home, I'm going to be growing the determinate and semi-determinate tomatoes. Determinate grow earlier and die back earlier in the growing season. Determinate are large and need staking or caging, and semi-determinate have characteristics of both. So these are the varieties that I'll be growing, and we'll start off with the ones that I'll be growing in my garden, the determinate and semi-determinate. I sometimes buy plants or I do from seeds. This year I am doing from seed. This is one of my favorites, Good Hearted from Proven Winners, and this is a determinate. Now I know I said that they die back before the end of the growing season, but I've had these cocktail size tomatoes, a little bigger than cherries, throughout the whole growing season. So this is going to be in my slightly raised beds and also maybe one grow bag. This one is Garden Gem by Proven Winners. I'll be growing at home, and this one's a semi-determinate. I got a couple of new ones that I wanted to try at home. This one is from Seeds and Such, and this is a new variety for me, tomato chocolate pear from Seeds and Such, and I'll be growing these in a grow bag. Also from Seeds and Such, tomato artisan bumblebee mix. I like the variation in the colors, the different colors of tomatoes. I wanted to try these out as well, and I'll be growing this in a grow bag as well. And the last one, I have a small container that I have some staking that's attached, and I'm going to be growing this one from Seed Savers, the Wisconsin Chief Tomato. And this one isn't a huge slicer, but it is a semi-determinate, so it won't get super large. So those are all the ones for my home that I'll be growing. The next one is in my raised bed in a community garden, and these I will be growing from Johnny's. I'll be growing the grape tomato, the sun gold tomato, very popular tomato. This one's a cherry tomato called Citrine or Citron. Another popular one from Johnny's, super sweet. These are small like cherry tomatoes. And then I want to grow a couple of Romas. I don't have good luck in grow bags in my home. I believe they're just not getting enough water. So this one is the Verona, and this one, it says it's good for paste, plum, and Roma tomatoes. So I'll be growing this in the raised bed along with, from Baker Creek, Martino's Roma. So those are going to go in my raised bed. And then my in-ground raised bed, and I'm going to have to think of a name for these places. This one is from Seed Savers, and this is the indeterminate. This is Mexican Midget, and these are dark red cherry tomatoes. This one, another Roma that I'm going to be growing in ground. I'm just going to see the difference between the raised bed and in ground. And this is a slicer that I got from Seed Savers, Whitmore Heirloom. This is from Baker Creek, the Verde Tomatillo. And from Seed Saver, this is the ground cherry. Never grown these before, but I wanted to give these a try and see what these taste like. I still have quite a few varieties of tomatoes, but I think they will be happy where I'm growing them. For the peppers, I'm going to be growing these at home and in the raised beds, and also in containers to be sold at the farmer's market. So for this one, I'm going to be growing from Seed Savers the jalapeno, the poblano. I have not grown these before, but I use these in a lot of recipes, so I wanted to try these. The shishito pepper. I tried these last year, delicious. And for me, since I don't really like super spicy, the natto pino, this is a no heat jalapeno. So I make my salsa with this pepper. And this is just an ornamental pepper that I'm gonna grow. This is pepper, fire, and ice. So I'm gonna put these in my containers, and they're red and yellow. And then for my green peppers, I'm gonna be mainly growing for the sweeter peppers. And I'm gonna be growing the lunchbox pepper mix. These are gonna be at home. I'm gonna grow these, and these are gonna be in a raised bed. I'm gonna grow these in the ground, and these are like a yellowish orange. It's called Sweet Sunrise from Johnny's. And then from Botanical Interests, I'm gonna be growing both of these in the ground too, because I noticed last year that these got quite large, so I wanna have some staking. So this one is called Golden Cal Wonder, a yellow sweet pepper, and a orange sun sweet pepper. So those are going to go all in the ground. Lastly, I'm going to grow some squash indoors. Now, I tried to grow a couple in my raised beds last year, and I had some success with it, but not as good as I would think maybe in the ground. So I'm going to also try to grow them ahead of time so I can get some fruit earlier in the season. So I'll be growing these from seed and then transplanting these in my in-ground raised beds. And those varieties, I'll be growing honey nut squash seeds. From Botanical Interests, these are called Summer Emerald Delight squash. Bush Baby Miro from Territorial seed. Bush Delita squash from Johnny's Butter Baby squash. And then from Baker Creek, 2 new ones. This one is called Zapalito de Tronco. And another one, another honey nut, but this one's from Baker Creek. And these are like my favorite. So as far as the squash, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting some of these seeds in soil blocks and then transplanting them so I won't disturb the roots, because that's why on the packaging it says to directly sow, generally speaking. So I will be starting some from seed now, and then after my last frost, I will also be planting in the ground. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for those future videos to follow along. So I wanted to show you a status of my seeds, and also how I'm going to be growing these tomatoes in my lighting systems. So I wanted to show you this lighting system that I have from Gardener Supply. This is a 2-tiered system right now. Initially I bought just the 1 tier, and this was the top, and then I bought some extenders and another piece. So this right now is in my living room. I'm kind of running out of room, so I'm starting to take over the living room now. So what I have here, I wanted to show you how my Lysianthus is doing. Yesterday I transplanted more from my 3/4 block to the 2-inch block, and they're doing quite well. So I'm super excited, as last year I didn't have success with them. So now let's go downstairs and see the rest of my seeds. So here we are in my grow room, and I wanted to give you an update on some of my seedlings. I know I did a short, and make sure you check that one out, of some of my seedlings, but I'll show you some of them that are in the back here. But today I'm going to be planting my tomatoes, peppers, and my squash. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting my squash in these bigger ones. And you might have seen these before. These are from Gardener's Supply. I don't think they have them anymore. So what it is this, they're plastic, and then this is a wicking mat that goes on the bottom. And what's going to happen, let me take these out. So this tray you fill with water and you put this down, and this wicking mat will pick up the water. And then at the end, so that I don't disturb them, I'm going to pull up this mat. So I'm going to be doing that with some of the squash, and some I'm going to be doing with soil blocks, so not to disturb the roots. And then for the tomatoes, I am also going to be doing some soil blocks for myself. And then also for the farmer's market, I am going to be planting the tomatoes in this one. And then I'll be transplanting. This I bought this winter. I'm going to try these out. So the reason I like them is I can put the variety right on here. I'm not sure how this is going to hold up to water. That's what I'm a little concerned about, but we'll give it a try. So these, what you do is there's a perforated line on the bottom, and I don't know if you could see that, but when you get it home, then you just take off the perforation and then just pop it into your soil. So I'm going to try these with my farmer's market, and that'll be easy to display. I think that is it for, and then my peppers, sorry, this peppers. So again, this is the same principle. I believe I bought this at Gardener's Supply as well. So this has a tray for water. It has a little pedestal to have your plants not sitting in the water. And this wicking mat is on top. So you put this in like so. And then the water wicks up on here. There's holes on the bottom. You just place that on top, and then the water wicks up from the bottom, and you don't top water. So these will be for my peppers. So I've got my peppers, my tomatoes, and then my squash. And then I'll also be doing them in soil blocks. So let me just get you a little closer and show you around my seeds and show you the progress of everything going on. Now I'm standing on a chair, so hopefully I don't fall off. So I wanted to give you an update on all of my seedlings. These are my cauliflowers on here. So this is my Bells of Ireland started, my yarrow, stock, and some lisianthus, and more Bells of Ireland. And I do have a fan going on there, so they're getting acclimated to the wind. And maybe in a week or two, when the weather breaks, I will be bringing these out into a temporary greenhouse to get them acclimated. So let's go down to the next level, and I'll show you what's there. So in the second level, I have my lavender and my coneflowers, more coneflowers here. This is my second batch of lisianthus, and you can definitely see the difference. They're a lot smaller. And germination rate is not great on some of them, but I'll have plenty. So I will be transplanting the bigger ones towards the back probably in another week. And then on this level, I have your blue glitter, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Eurogenum. I planted this because it has beautiful blue flowers. So I'm going to be planting this in my garden along with some petunias in the back. And then these are more of my cool flowers. So I have some blue perum still under the heat dome because they're just starting to germinate. I've got feverfew. I've got my pink cushions. I've got bachelor buttons and some sweet williams. So those are some of my cool flowers. And then I've transplanted some of my snapdragons. So I need to I've got a lot more that I have to transplant into these little containers here. And then on the bottom, these I just planted seeded last week, and these are my herbs. So I have my herbs coming up here and here. And then this one is more of my cool flowers that I planted as well last week.
These are a little behind the herbs, but I have some straw flowers, some Rebecca, and some more Sweet William, and then some more Lisianthus as well. So make sure you're following along for more seed updates. I hope you're getting just as excited as I am about the upcoming season. So give it a like and comment below what you're excited to grow this year. Also make sure that you check out this video above. In my last video there was a giveaway and we have just a few more days to enter that video. You need to subscribe, like, and comment below that video. Now I'd like to share that garden tip about growing potatoes. Thanks for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.